Master, we should camp here for the night. Master, whilst I cannot force you to take rest, I insist we set up camp here for this evening. It is the most ideal location we have come across in an entire day and night's worth of travel. If you do not rest here, I fear you will have no chance to rest until we reach our destination, which is no less than 3¼ days from here. Pardon, Master? Yes, I am smiling, because I seem to have appealed to your sense of reason. An achievement in and of itself. No, of course I am not insulting you, Master. May I be stripped of the title of Maid if that were the case. I am simply trying to lighten the mood. It has been a heavy few days after all. It was merely an attempt at humor, Master. Besides, I saw you smirk, so I feel satisfied in being a little smug. Of course, smugness does not excuse a maid from her duties. With that being said, please excuse me whilst I begin constructing our camp for the evening. Master, I insist. A maid cannot complete the tasks assigned to her if her master aids her all of the time. Besides, you have done far too much for my liking today. What do you mean you had it easy? Had it easy? Just this morning alone you gathered what small creatures we had managed to trap. It does not matter if it was just a vertebat and 2 bile frogs. And not just that, you insisted in helping me map up the day's route, even when I made desperate attempts to ward you off with something shiny. If I had not put my foot down and insisted you let me cook the morning meal on my own, I would have been just standing around all day being nothing but set dressing. It does not matter if I carried the supplies, or that I slayed that particularly nasty-looking Ugnard before you had a chance to even spot it, Master. Or even that I managed to expertly debone it, removing the poison and transforming its scent gland into a refreshing hand sanitizer. A maid's duty is to lessen the burden for her master on a moment-to-moment basis. If some of my instructors saw that I allowed you to even lay a finger on one of those monsters, they'd have strung me up by my cloak in the Academy's freezer and made me recite the 20 codes of maid conduct until dawn. But of course, we wouldn't have to worry about something like that occurring anymore now, would we? So much has happened since my years training in the Academy that, well, as odd as it is to say, remembering the punishments and rules are one of the very few ways to keep the memories of simpler times alive. Before all the paralyzing destructo beetles or the 20-foot-long gunkers. Don't mistake me, Master, I could not be happier serving and assisting you each and every day. And you have been nothing but a pleasure to live alongside these last 14 years, 7 months, 2 weeks, 5 days, 4 hours, and 34 minutes. Of course I've been keeping track, Master. But, as your loyal partner, I must confess, I would have much rather spent all of that time serving you espressos with little heart-shaped cookies and attending theater with you. Well, rather than using my mastery of battle axes to slay beasts that would play tic-tac-toe with your spine. Though, of course, it isn't all doom and gloom. For instance, I have gotten a chance to test every little skill the Academy taught me, and then some. Back in the old world, I do not think I would have gotten a chance to do half of the stuff for you that I have been able to while struggling monster slaying. Cartography, judo, taekwondo, capoeira, advanced botany, and carpentry. I could go on, Master. And that is when I think things might not be so bad out here. Sure, the bedbugs might be giant and so poisonous if you looked at one you might lose sensation in your fingers. I don't have all the equipment I'd like to whip you up Michelin star meals at the drop of a hat, and goodness knows I have not been able to beg you to take me to as many musicals as one would like. But I have been able to serve you in a variety of new and exciting ways every day. Oh, the theater Master would have taken me to. The fun we would have had. Master sitting in the most exclusive gallery seats, me standing beside them, dressed in my most elegant attire, the household crest adorned on my breast pocket. The theater staff would try and serve Master all sorts of refreshments, but I would wave them away and explain smugly how unfit they were to serve such a great pillar of the community. Oh, how they would scowl and grumble as I shooed them away and begged Master to forgive their insolence. I would tell the other maids in the academy, even when I was little, that one day I would be the best maid the academy had ever seen. And I would serve my master with every ounce of being in my heart. And so I trained, and trained, and trained, and trained some more. In every exam I passed with flying colors. Kickboxing to first aid to language studies, I racked up all sorts of extracurricular nooks and crannies under my belt, in the hopes of becoming the finest addition to any household this side of the globe. When the day came to be assigned our houses, I had already attained the highest percentages for hundreds of years. I was ready to give it my all. I was excited beyond belief to serve. Then I met you, Master. When they told me I was to be assigned to the head of a small guild in the boroughs of the capital city, I was a little more than mildly surprised. I had expected to be snatched up by some simple home of nobility, a single mistress with a few children perhaps, maybe even a mage's emporium at most. But the head of a guild? I instantly felt a sense of responsibility when I met you, Master. I do not wish to be rude, and please do reprimand me if this is above my station, but when I first got a glimpse into your life, it was chaos. Endearingly scruffy chaos, as the case may have been, but chaos nonetheless. But that only excited me more. The chance to jump into guild life? It was enthralling. Meetings, quests, charts, and graphs galore. And then, not 2 weeks into my dorm with you, the world fell apart. Monsters everywhere. Whole towns being torn up into just rubble. People being forced to flee their homes. So many souls just gone. A life as a guildmaid quickly vanished, that was for sure. It was strange, not least of all seeing many of these creatures for the first time. And the way they toy with people who get in their path. I don't think I had ever seen so many heads not attached to their bodies as I did fleeing the guild hall with you on that day. And those were the lucky ones. It was strange, adjusting to this new, more wild, uncharted life. But that's the thing, Master. Even in the oddest of circumstances, I came to realize that my purpose, what I had been trained for so many years, had not been robbed from me, but that I had just been presented a new playing field of sorts. I did not lose hope. I gained new perspective. This world was not going to play nice, but that didn't mean I had to sacrifice the care of one person I wanted to be around. I just had to work harder. Tea, Master? It is freshly brewed, of course. Nettle and blueberries, steamed to 110 degrees exactly. No more and no less. Of course, I did manage to strip a few chunks of flank meat from the oppet we caught this afternoon whilst you, relieved yourself. If you would like, I could roast some over the fire for us to enjoy this evening, Master. Of course. Just let me score it, and I will hang it over the fire as soon as the flames allow. One must never play with fire, after all. For all that has gone completely and utterly mad with the world, Master, I find a sense of tranquility in camping still. Of course, I will be taking watch to make sure some Jubelel does not scratch out your eyes, and I have already made sure to set up a perimeter with the few traps that we have left. But it is still rather peaceful. A maid and her master against the world.